Hello and welcome to the Friday live stream. My name is Igor. Most of you already know me well or very well, it depends. So, without further delay, what you see here, it's an ongoing work on a PHP support in the Shikigami application. This is specifically these first 3 milestones of a bigger work. This is the LSP feature that we are building during live streams, sometimes during live streams, sometimes off stream, because this is a bit boring. I have to test it manually, then review specifications and plan. Not very interesting, and mostly this is a reading and tinkering. That's mostly what it is. But first 3 milestones from the another chunk of changes will be released today, and that contains first step towards full auto-completion in PHP in Shikigami. So expect later today after the live stream, expect a release. Okay, so yeah, let's go. No time to waste. I mean, let's start another part, another milestone. I have 2 agents here today with that will work on it. One of them is a kind of a reviewer and a planning agent. The other one on the right side, this is codex, and codex is taking care of implementing this. Actually implementing this. Good. So let's start them first, and then let's take a look at our board. So we start a bit different today, because nobody will stop us from shipping this, building and providing more languages, more support for other languages, not only PHP, because let me remind you, what is the goal? The goal is to have an Agentic IDE that allows us to work by moving from one word to another. One word, the first one is the agentic coding word, where you can manage multiple sessions of Codex or Claude, and maybe in the future as well Mistral, because last time, sorry, I don't remember, but there was a comment and someone asked about, someone said that is eager to try Mistral and would like to see Mistral in Shikigami. Okay, let's bring it. It's not our top priority, but let's do it later. For now, let's focus on the editor area. So agentic coding, that's what it is, and the editor area, the one that I've mentioned. Let me open another project that we also worked on during live streams, and that is Who is Out of Office. And the editor area is a classic, so to speak, classic IDE experience, and we are doing our best to bring languages support. We started from PHP. There is part of JavaScript and TypeScript already available, part of this functionality, auto-completions and going to definitions, finding usages. This is partially already included in Shikigami, but I would like to extend it. I would like to have as much as possible, of course, a full-featured IDE editor, and as well the agentic coding, both things combined in the Shikigami application, which is for free and will be for free, at least in this shape. That is my goal, that is my wish. Okay, let's go. So first thing is to tell so this is the Claude session on the left. So we have to tell it, okay, bring me another plan, and then Codex will take care of implementing this. Okay, let's move to the M4 phase. If the plan is ready, please give me a prompt. If this isn't ready, please create one, and also run a code review and architecture review on it. Okay. Okay, so as I said, first 3 phases, first 3 milestones from that plan. Of course, you have no idea what that means. I am aware of that, but it means that part of the auto-completion is already on the main branch and will be released today. So let's move to the M4, and that includes, for example, the chaining. So you autocomplete first level, then the second, then the third, etc. If that's what you want. But okay, so they are busy, and for today, there is one thing that just came into my mind that is not reflected here. So, and that is an improvement for the Git branch selector, because in monorepo it's much more richful in features, and but for the monorepo, the component for the selector for monorepos, we've created it later. So the single repository, the classic repository projects have unfortunately the old widget. So we have to improve that, and there is no ticket for that. But, and we will start a Claude session for that in a minute. But other things, let me move the improvement for the editor files tree. I would like to add a context menu. So you move your mouse over a file. Yeah, let me show you. Okay, so you move a mouse over a file, and then you click a right mouse button, and there are a few actions here. I would like to add a very useful one that I use from time to time in my everyday job, which is add to git ignore. And if there is no git ignore, then Shikigami should tell you about that and ask you if you wanted to add a git ignore file in the root of the project. So that is the first thing. And then a kind of a bug, but not really. There is a missing functionality for auto refresh whenever you push or pull. But you know what? No, wait. So first thing will be to improve the selector. So let's postpone the auto refresh, and let's move to the in planning. Another useful thing that I would like to have is a clone project. So if you have a Git integration enabled on your machine, then I would like to add an option for you and for me as well to clone a project. So if you click on a plus button, for now, what you see are the most recent projects that you worked on, and an option, of course, to start a project in start a workspace in a different location. But what is missing here is a git clone functionality. So let's add it as well today, or at least let's try to do that. But the first thing is the improvement for the git branch selector. Let me start from that because there is no task for it, and I would like to that's my top priority. I would like to have it as soon as possible because the current selector is not that great. And as usual, we use Claude for development and planning for important features. And in a dedicated work tree, that's where we want to start working on it. Okay, good. And now it's a time to give it a prompt. Okay, so what we want to have a checkout action. So yeah, if you move your mouse over an item, that's the first thing. There should be a hover effect. Then let's add an arrow on the right side of this of every line, and then there is a context menu with checkout. push pull, rebase onto, and merge, I guess. Rename and delete, yeah, okay. So let's start from taking a screenshot. If you don't know, Shikigami supports drag and drop. So you choose a workspace, a session, where you would like to drop an image and you just release a left mouse button and it's already there. So very useful, very nice. Small thing, but a nice improvement. And okay, so now it's time for a prompt. What you see here is a branch selector, and I want you to improve that component in our application. So the first requirement is to add a hover effect on each item from a branch list. Okay, so that is the first requirement. Then I want you to add an arrow on the right end of each line, and then when user click on it, I want you to show a context menu on the right side where there will be useful actions. For example, push pull, rename, delete, rebase onto, and merge into. Yeah, I think that is all. If I missed something, please let me know. So if the requirements are clear, I want you to skip brainstorming session and move to the design phase, because I want you to first use your front-end skills and design skills to create a initial design for these changes. So basically, I would like to see, before we move into specification, I would like to see if it understands what actions we want to have, and yeah, if the design is the right one, yeah, if that is what we want, if it match the overall UI design, and if it is useful. And if you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And okay, one more thing I would like to share with you, because maybe you don't know. Probably you know that there is a Discord server. The link is in the description, and I will also later add a comment with useful links. But that is not all that we have. We have as well an X account. And there, from time to time, whenever there is a release, I also post push a post with a short information, with a brief description of what was changed. And for example, the recent release contains PHP autocomplete opt-in per workspace, so it means that you can enable PHP support per workspace. It won't be loaded for you automatically. The application will try to detect it, but will never turn it on until you do that. Then there's source control rows redone. Yeah, so clear colors, hover actions, and icons. This is correct. Wheel zoom with command or a control button. So it depends. If you are from if you come from Linux, then it's gonna be control button. If you are here and you use Mac, then it's gonna be command button. And then the codex status glow fixed. Yeah, there was an issue. Because recently OpenAI, it's not, no way. Yeah, that is correct. Sorry, for a moment I thought I'm talking about a different agent. Okay, sorry for that. So codex, so OpenAI recently changed a bit API for codex. I mean, not API from an external remote resource. This is, by that I mean an interface that agent uses internally, and we lost a glow effect when it was working on something. So now I brought that back. It is available. So 0.29 contains fix for that. If you haven't already, then please update your applications. Okay, let's take a look at agents. Okay, so the mockup will be available soon for the branch selector. Let's start another thing. So the context menu improvement for a files tree in the editor area, and as usual Claude with a high effort one agent and a dedicated work tree for that. Okay, there was a misunderstanding. And no, please don't use the Claude AI host for that. I want you to spin up a localhost server and show us HTML. But okay, now it's the time for the context menu from the files tree. I want you to extend the context menu in the files tree in the editor area. I want you to add a new action, which is add to git ignore. So we have to detect if there is a git ignore already defined or present in the root of the project. If not, then let's show a modal with a confirmation that with a question actually, if a user want the application to create a git ignore file. So if yes, then please make sure that we already include a selected file that was about to be added to the git ignore in the newly created git ignore file. Okay, there is a missing thing here. So I would like to remove those two buttons and no, wait, no. These buttons will stay because they refer to the current branch, okay, but the new branch button, let's remove it. And then this action will be available here in the context menu. So if you want to create a new branch, then you hover on the one that you would like to copy, like create a new one from the one that you are hovering, then an arrow, and somewhere here should be the additional action, maybe on the top. I don't know. Let's leave it to the agent. Let's leave the decision to the agent. So for sure we have to remove the new branch button and include another one in the context menu. Okay. I want you to remove the new branch button from the root of the component, and I also want you to add a new branch button action into a context menu. Okay, let's wait if how it designed it. Okay, so two things. Okay, let me take a look. Okay, and we have the refresh design. That's how it looks. So there is no more a new branch button. It's gone, and then each branch has its own set of actions. Let me take a look. Okay, pull, push. Yeah, that is correct. Integrate. Maybe we'll rename it at some point. But yes, merge into main, that is correct. Rebase onto main, that is correct. New branch from the one that you selected. Rename and delete. Yes, that is all good. Let me take a look at actions. Okay. You can let me know as well if the music is it loud or not, because I cannot really hear it. Please let me know. Okay, so the design is fine for the branch selector. Let's inform the agent. Okay, I like the design. Please now move on and prepare a specification file. Okay, regarding the git ignore file, let me ask it one more thing just to be sure that the behavior is correct. So as I understand, you asked about if we want to add a path from a root of a workspace. Is that correct? Okay, so they are busy. Another agent, and this time let's go with codex, and it will be a balanced Terra. I think it's capable of doing that. And the third thing, the fourth one is a git clone functionality on a new workspace model. Okay. Okay, so just to keep it simple, the git ignore iteration number 1 is only looking for a root. It's generating a path from a root. That's correct. Everything goes to the root, yeah. So v1 is simple and predictable, okay. If you would like to extend it, you can always let me know. If you would like to modify the default behavior of it, the default functionality, you can always let me know and we can improve it. Maybe if it detects that this is a monorepo, then maybe should be a radio button with an option to choose what is root for that. Is it a workspace root or a project root? Okay, so let's keep root only for now, and if everything is clear, please prepare a spec file. Before we answer those two agents, there is one more thing I forgot to mention. So the last time we released zoom functionality, git diff improvement that you know, but there is also one more thing that waits for the release today, and it's a useful thing especially for front-end developers. So pixels will be so REM value will be calculated for pixels value in CSS files, and this is a feature that you can enable or disable once we release 0.30 version of the application. Please go to the settings, modal, and there is a workspace programming languages. For now, this is only PHP because this is 0.29 version. Once we release 0.30, this will become a expandable list with a PHP and CSS. Once you click on the CSS item, you will have an option to enable REM calculation in CSS files. Okay, and please include one more requirement. So once we've created a git ignore and once we add a file to it, I want you to also refresh the state of a git component list. That is important. So we don't want to keep there anything that was added to the git ignore file. Okay, so we have a few findings for the PHP LSP, and I like it. As I told you, and as I mentioned a few times already, sometimes we have to make a step back, build better foundation, and then move forward. And that's exactly what will happen here now. We're not gonna move just because we want to move. We have to have a good architecture that is maintainable in the long run and extendable. Okay, so before we move to M4 phase, I want you to give me a handoff prompt for the fixes from the previous stages. Okay, and I have for you designs for the cloning. Let me make it bigger. Okay, you should see it. You should see it well. I hope at least. Okay, so this is so the left. So there is a switcher on the left, the current state. You browse, you go, you choose one of the recent items. Then if you go to clone repository, here you paste the repository URL. Then destination. And if the destination is already, if there is something already in a directory, you should see a warning. Please be careful because something may be there. And if there is an error, you will see a nice message with an information what happened and why something failed. And there is even a cloning progress. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. This is fine. Okay, and we have a first thing that is available for the implementation. The branch selector improvement. Now this is very basic, and it meant to be basic because we want to move fast and do iterations on features. So we already improved it, but now it requires, I really need more actions on each branch item. Okay, good. So now I want you to start a sub-agent driven development. And once all is ready, I want you to run a code review and an architecture review. And please make sure that the architecture review is run by the Shikigami architecture agent. And one more thing, yeah, so the LSP, PHP LSP, so we have the prompt. Let me copy that. I have to prepare a better solution for that. And this would be a great improvement if you have more than one agent. There needs to be a way to send content from one to another in an easy way. But that, I believe that would be an extension on a session. So I need to think about it. Sorry, I won't do it now. I have to do some research and then we can implement it later, but it would be awesome. That would be awesome. So the new will become a supervisor, because some people really feel more comfortable when they feel that they have a control over agents. They don't want to have an agent that is a supervisor and the one supervisor agent is taking care of the rest. Yeah, some like it, some not. So let's consider adding an option. I have to research it, an option to send content from one to another. Okay, let's take a look at the git ignore. So it mentioned that it will reuse the IPC channel. I'm not sure if that's the right choice. Let's ask it. Or maybe I should say, let's verify that. I want you to verify the specification with a, please ask the Shikigami architecture agent if that channel that you choose, if this is the right one. Okay, nice. And we have a specification ready for the git clone functionality. Let's take a look. If this is okay, then we'll move to the implementation phase. It would be awesome if this will be included in the release today in the evening. That this will be awesome. Guys, there is one more thing, another improvement. I just reminded myself about it. So you are in the editor area, you select something, line, text, doesn't matter. And then let me remind you, so there are two ways to search in the editor area. So one is that you are search in a current file that you are in. It may be hard to see for you, but right here, right at the top of the editor is a search input. So that is the first option. The second one is right here. So the global search. And what I would like to have, if you select something, if you select a text, you hit Command F buttons, then it should be copied. Yeah. Let me select loader. And it is in a file search that is copied, but isn't if you want to search globally. Yeah, if you want to run a global search, you have to copy and paste. We don't like that, so let's improve that right away. Okay. Let me revert those changes. Okay. I will select something just for... Ah, no, wait, sorry. First, an agent. Okay, let's start a new session. Yeah, let it be a codex session. Yeah, and Terra, hi. So global search. Search by selected. Yeah, let's call it like this. In a new work tree, of course, because we don't want them to interfere. Okay, let me take a look. What is happening here? Okay, there is a question. Please give me a second. I will start the new agent and then I will answer. Okay, sorry. Okay, let me give it a prompt and then I will answer you, okay? I forgot this codex. They should really add a voice feature to the codex agent. Okay, let me go back to the chat and your message. Dear viewer, okay. Does command plus D work there as well? Duplicate current line? I guess not, but we have to add it then. No, there is no such behavior. I can confirm. Yeah, I use it from time to time as well. Thank you. You're welcome, and thank you for the idea. Thank you. And thank you for being active, dear chat. Unfortunately, we have to praise the YouTube, the YouTube algorithm god, unfortunately. So if you are here, if you just joined, please click on reactions, be active on the chat, and please put questions, feedback into the comments section. First, I really would like to know what do you think about Shikigami, if you use it, if you use PHP at work, maybe use different language, what that language is. I really would like to know, because you can really have an impact on the final shape of the application and on the roadmap as well. So please let me know. And to build the channel, it is important to have activities of a different kind. So please, if you are that kind, please leave a comment, and thank you. Or you can as well subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm doing, and if you like being here, then don't forget to. Okay, and we refactored the PHP LSP support, and it looks good now. So that means we can move to the next phase. So let me ask an agent for the handoff prompt. Okay, if this is fine now, then I want you to prepare for me a handoff prompt that I will use and instruct the next agent, sorry, the other agent, what to do. I have to take care of that. As you see, unfortunately, if we move to expand it from a minimized to expanded view, then unfortunately some content still fits the old space that was available previously. It is not expanded. No worries, we will take care of that in the future. Just letting you know, nothing will be missed. I shared the X account in the chat. If you use X, please start following us, or I should say me and my agents, because there you will get an information every time there is a release and what was included in that release. So you don't have to wait until the application lets you know that there is an update available. You can just restart it and then re-trigger a new version request. And as well, you will be informed what is included in a release. There is also a Discord server. The link is in the description. Feel free to join and become a part of the community. Okay, and one more thing that is ready for the implementation. This is the git ignore files functionality in the context menu. Okay, good. So please start working on it. The sub-agent driven mode and the test driven development. Please run a final code review and a final architecture review by the Shikigami architecture. Okay, so the global search is as well now in the implementation phase. It means most likely it will be included in the release. Let's see. Okay, can you see me? Okay, we are back online again. Good. Okay, something weird happened. I believe you saw that as well. I don't know, that happened for the first time. I don't see any error toast here, so I don't know what really happened. Maybe one day off stream I will be able to reproduce that and then catch it. I don't really know what happened. Maybe that was because of the temporary internet issue. I think I've lost you for a second or two, and maybe that was the reason. But the agent is still working, so this is good. Let me show you what is the state. Okay, so the duplicated, yeah, so that is the last thing for today, and it is in the planning phase still. But let's take a look at the future work. So Python, Vue, Blade, PHP, These are syntaxes. Sorry for that. These are the next steps in terms of syntax highlighting and auto-completion and general support. But the first thing to finish is view and the heart. Yes. Yeah, I know that this is a popular framework, so we have to bring it to Shikigami to target greater audience and convince more people that the Shikigami IDE is the best Agentic IDE, or will be, if not yet, will be the best Agentic IDE of 2026. I hope for some of you, at least. Let's see. So Python, view, blade.php. If you don't know, Blade it's just another template language in the PHP world. So this is the nearest future. Yeah, let me rename that not simples but LSP, and we have to do it in a similar way as the PHP LSP. I believe it will take some time, but I've learned a lot working on the PHP LSP in Shikigami, so it should be faster. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, this is a very popular programming language in the AI world, AI world, so to speak. So it would be great to have it as well. PHP, why there is PHP? Because I like PHP and I work with PHP every day, and I really wanted to move away from a current IDE that a previous IDE, I should say. Actually, from the previous IDE that I used, I really wanted to move away from it. That's why I started working on the application, on the Shikigami application, because that was enough. I just said that this is enough. Yeah. They raised prices every year, every time, and I just couldn't agree with that. But this is only one of the reasons. The other one is that you can correct me, of course, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I couldn't find a nice IDE with a with an as well good Agentic IDE, Agentic flow or Agentic manager area within the same application. By the way, there is a third so to speak area that we have to add, which is a browser window, browser tab. I have to think about it, how to design it. Maybe it should be available in the editor as a tab. I don't know, I need to think about it, but I would like to have a browser window built in Shikigami, so then I don't have to switch to my browser, but I can work from the same application on different things at the same time, which is great. And for example, if you have a session with an agent that is designing something, then you just split the view like this, and here should be a browser window, for example, or the editor. Or if you have a wide screen, you can have 3 of them at the same time. But okay, let's take a look at agents. What is the progress? Okay, and the deduplication feature as well just was moved to the in progress phase. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and LSP. So 6 tasks, they are working on 6 different things at the same time. Bigger or smaller doesn't matter. They work in parallel, and that's the key thing in Shikigami. You can run multiple sessions, each of them. This is the same project. Just to make it clear, this is the same project, but each of them has a dedicated work tree, isolation. They don't overlap on their changes. They don't mess in each other spaces, so to speak, which is great. Yeah, that's why we can move faster than it used to be in the past. And you have live preview, or if you want to read details, you can bring agent to the front and then move it back again to the grid view. And at the same time, you can switch to the editor and take a look at the code if you want. Everything is available except the browser, but the browser will be soon added to the application. Actually, let me add a ticket for that to not forget. So, but first I believe we have to explore it. Verify if our code base is ready. If it isn't, then maybe as usual we will make a step back, refactor maybe some parts, and then start working on it. And what is important, the important thing here is that there is no, and I want you to remember that, there is no VC behind me or behind us. This is pure community, what we have here, and no big player behind us, and we are still able to manage and build the application. Full-featured, almost full-featured IDE. Usually you have to pay for it, either by a membership or with your own data, but nobody will tell that. And that is not what is happening here. The application doesn't care how you use agents. Let me say that again. I said that already during the last live stream. Privacy and security is the #1 goal. So the application doesn't persist and doesn't send any of your personal sensitive information. There isn't even a telemetry. And that's why I would like to ask you to join the Discord server or start following us on X. And if you see errors, if you have issues, please let me know. I prefer the Discord server, but of course I'm open for other ways to contact me. You can find me on LinkedIn as well. Okay, and let me show you the dev version of the application. So this is what we are about to release. what we will release with the next version, which is the programming languages item space in the settings. So extension for the programming languages area. PHP was already there, and now the CSS, where you can enable or disable REM hints. If you are a front-end developer, you can go here, you can enable it, and then if you go to a CSS file, CSS, SCSS, and one more, a type of extension should be covered with that. Sorry, I'm not a front-end developer, but as you can already see, let me zoom in. That's also a fresh thing. Zoom in, zoom functionality for files and images is available as well. So all you have to do is use a control key or a command key and a wheel of your mouse, and then you can zoom in. So that's the label that you see, 0.75 REM, is exactly the feature that we added last time during the last live stream, and will be released soon. Okay, so one more time: programming languages, settings, workspace settings, programming languages, CSS. You can enable or disable REM hints, or you will be able once we release the application. Okay, and end-to-end test started. You can take a look if you want. Auto completion. Okay, was tested. Let's see what's the result. Okay, so I guess the end-to-end test was correct. I mean, the result was green, so this is fine. And now the final round of reviews. Let's see if it will be okay, if it works. Once I merge it to the main branch, then it will be as well included in the next release. So we have auto completion, but only first level and not for all variables, not for all scopes, but no worries, that will be extended and the new functionalities will be added soon. Okay, the duplicate lines, duplicate line feature, it looks like this is implemented. Okay, good. So let's merge it to the main branch. And we can even test it manually. Okay, that was merged to the main branch. Let's see. Let me run the application again in the dev mode. And let's take a look. Okay, restore. Okay. Now Command D, yeah, so we have it. And if I select, then no. If I select multi-lines, no. Okay, then Command D, you have it. So dear viewer, if you are still here, then you have it. It will be included in the 0.30 release. Yeah, but I use that as well from time to time, so thank you for reminding me that we should add it. Okay, good. So the first agent today that will be stopped and removed. Cool. Okay guys, it's an hour and a half, so let me wrap it up. So we have a branch selector improvement. That's the biggest thing today. No, sorry, a clone project, a repo to create a new workspace. So I would say that this is the most complex thing, and that's very useful. Then the branch selector improvement, then global search and the files tree context menu add to the git ignore, and beside that LSP for PHP. All these things are now under the development, all of them in parallel, so you can expect, I believe, maybe tomorrow, maybe not today. Let's not rush, let's release tomorrow. So tomorrow you can expect a new version of the application, and that will be it for today, I guess, cause it doesn't make sense to sit here longer. So thank you for joining, thank you for being here with me today. Please smash the like button if you haven't already, please do so. And if you are not yet subscribing the channel, then please do so. Please come and join us, please try Shikigami, please let me know what do you think about the application. What programming language would you like to see in the application? What agents do you use? And what agents are not covered here by our session management system. And that's it for today. Thank you for being here and have a nice day, have a nice evening, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.